We're in 8-bit and up in New York City, and I just felt like it was the perfect place for us to come and catch up and kick it.
You wanna go one round real quick?
Ooh.
I must have been like 4 or 5 years old.
Shit, what the? Who was that?
Those are some of my earliest memories playing video games.
Oh, almost.
Damn, bro. This is ridiculous.
I was working at a job that I hated at a supermarket, or I was working at Wingstop, and I would walk 1.5 miles, almost 2 miles to work every day. It was horrible. So I used video games as a way to escape and as a way to enhance my life rather than try to run away from it.
You rapped about it a lot, we've talked about it a lot. You had a pretty rough and turbulent upbringing, but I feel like you kind of buried yourself a lot in sci-fi and video games and music. Gaming is such an important part of your life. You have the gaming channel.
And don't get me wrong, I'll definitely talk about music from time to time, but this is about fucking video games.
You reference it in your music.
These bammers trying to play us like Nintendo? Hell no. But all the wrong things on my mind for motivation. Just chilling at the crib on the PlayStation.
How did video games actually play a role?
Especially back in 2009 when I was really trying to do, I was living in my sister's basement. And that's when I first discovered Uncharted, which is one of my favorite video games.
No.
Different video games that allowed me to immerse myself, like when the first Call of Duty Modern Warfare came out. So I used video games as a way to escape and as a way to be strong or be a superhero or be this, because I didn't feel like I was at the time.
And at this time when you were kind of working in the supermarket and Wingstop and living with your sister, where are you at musically? At what stage is Logic?
I was like, damn, I think I was just past being psychological, which is like the original rap name. And this is when I first met Big Lembo. I was about a good year and a half away from Young, Broke, and Infamous, which is my first ever mixtape.
Step to the mic and now I got you, call me Young Sinatra. The flow is prominent, hella dominant, on time.
Now, how does it affect your creativity? You just dropped this Bobby Tarantino mixtape.
Yeah.
I know for the album, The Incredible True Story, Akira and anime was a big influence.
Big one, yep.
I got the Akira on the wall, I just can't follow they law.
I want to know with Bobby Tarantino as you're recording, what games are you playing?
I was definitely playing this game called The Witcher, which is insane. It's just crazy, because I'm not really into medieval stuff, I'm into more sci-fi stuff, but this is so good, it's just a huge open world game and it's really amazing. But Uncharted, I was playing Uncharted 4.
The biggest pirate treasure of all time is within our grasp.
People at Naughty Dog who created this video game actually let me come by and have a tour of their studio. I got to play it before it came out in their theater, in the office, while the programmers are working on it. It was the craziest experience, and it was really amazing and very special.
When you and I spoke a couple of years ago, this is Under Pressure.
Yeah.
So the Under Pressure album's out. And I feel like what you're saying to me now is that on Under Pressure, you wouldn't have put an ad-lib that said, I just beat Uncharted 4.
Just beat that Uncharted 4. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have done that because I think
you wanted to fit in with hip-hop.
In a sense, I think that would have been uncool, or people would have been like, what the fuck is he talking about? I feel like such a different artist from back then, because back then I felt like I had to prove myself and I had to hip hop's gonna respect me and they're gonna love me. And now it's kind of like, man, who gives a fuck if hip hop loves me or not? As long as my fans love me and the culture of good people and musicians respect me, that's all it is. And that's why I walk in here with a Rick and Morty shirt and a fucking plaid t-shirt and glasses. I look like Harry Potter and I fucking got a haircut today. That's why I love that I could be like, oh yeah, I just beat that Uncharted 4, or I play video games. I think it diversifies me and it opens me up to a much broader scale of people who enjoy the everyday regular guy.
We were walking around and I found this.
Yes, I know what this is. This is arguably my favorite game of all time.
You have a track called Super Mario World.
I do have a track called Super Mario World.
Is Luigi in it?
Mario was in it.
I'm like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my God.
Don't nobody fuck with Luigi, dog. Come on, he's just a player 2 ass motherfucker.
I feel like Luigi jumps higher.
Man, fuck Luigi. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Super Mario World, the only reason I called it that is because of the sound. So like originally the beat was kind of different and sounded a little different, and then we came up with that boom, boom, doom, boom, 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 boom. It was kind of sounds video game-ish, and I was like, YOLO. Originally I was gonna call it Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Because if you listen to one of the ad-libs, I'm like, Jurassic Park, and I got my Jurassic Park hat. I love wearing, I just love Jurassic Park. So Juicy J was on the original.
No.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite verses by Juicy J, but it was so opposite of the song. All right, when me and Juicy originally did a song together, okay, it was like just some fun like swag shit, so it made sense. But I've been sitting on this verse for like almost a year. I've been sitting on this Juicy J verse. I took this verse and we kind of sped it up and we put it on Super Mario World, but it's so ratchet. He's like talking about like fucking Scarlett Johansson and shit. So I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work on this song. So I was like, oh, okay. With Super Mario World, I literally recorded it so I could perform it. Like the hook is, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my God. It's that simple. And some people could be like, oh, that's stupid. Like, yeah, but when you're there, like that, I knew I was going on this tour. I knew I was making this mixtape. And I wanted it to be so simplistic and easy to sing along to that even if you didn't know it, you would know it.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my God. Woo!
That's lit. That's gonna be the hook right there.
Yeah.
There's one song, Wrist.
Look at the flick of that wrist.
How did you get Pusha T on the track? How did this happen?
Clockwise, counterclockwise, realist.
I was at Hot 97, I forget who, I think it was Ebro, it was the morning. And I walk out, and there's Pusha T, and he's like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, what, you know who I am? And he was like, yeah, man, he was like, oh, I fuck with you, like, you know, heavy and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I came up listening to the clips, dog, like, damn, this is so wild. She was like, yeah, we gotta do a joint. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, let's get a picture. And I was like, what? I was like, damn, like Pusha T wants a picture with me. And I told him I had a record that I would love to do, and I told him it was very conceptual, and but it was about crack cocaine. I kind of told him, explain how I'm rapping from a fictional Colombian drug lord later in his life after kind of realizing what his line of work has done to the rest of the world, including where he's from, and then how that cocaine then trickles into the American projects, turned into crack and distributed amongst mainly, unfortunately, the black community, and the effects that can have, but then also being told from the perspective of a young man who is selling it and making money and turning a profit. So I wanted to do a coke record that was conceptual.
Right.
So that's why it's called Wrist.
I want to see if you realize this. 44 Bars is part of the biggest sports story of the year.
Really?
So far. Kevin Durant goes to Golden State.
Oh yeah, Durant.
He says that while he was making his decision, he was riding his bike around listening to 44 Bars.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You know the crazy part? We never even met in person yet.
Crazy.
He reached out to me in 2011 because we're from the same area. I was just like, oh, here's a nice guy who likes my music. You know what I mean? It wasn't about like, oh, he's a crazy basketball player. Even now, you know, considered one of the best in the world.
You know, he sat down with Genius and told us that The Incredible True Story was his favorite
He said
album of the year.
No way.
I just wanted to connect with him, and we come from the same area, and I didn't know. And then I just been following him ever since, and he's just killing it right now.
Damn, thanks, dog.
In London talking to rhetoric about my life and shit.
It makes me think of your verse, and it sounds like you were going through something. Even with the first verse, you start, yeah, in London talking to rhetoric about my life and shit. I thought the album was finished, but I keep writing shit. Like, it made me feel like you were actually going through some life-changing things as well.
Yeah. All right, 44 Bars and Deeper Than Money are the closest to album logic, if you will, because it's full of substance and it's full of, you know, a story and conviction, and that's just me kind of talking that shit, but at the same time being very honest. I'm not the type of person who's just gonna go on Twitter or go whatever and just be like, oh yeah, hashtag whatever, cool. So people think, no, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna talk about these subjects on my album. You know what I mean? And it's the things that make us different that make us special, but the things that make us different should not separate us, and that's all I'll say on this until my album drops.
For being in a place this cool,
I know.
We've done a lot of sitting down and talking.
That's true.
Yo, man, you owe me a rematch in Street Fighters.
You're gonna get smashed. Let's do this.
My brother.
Can we just talk about how epic this fucking store is and that there's like real customers in here and this is like a legit place of business? I love it.
We found this place for you, man.
Thanks, dog. Oh, fam wasn't even looking, dog.